So we've had a problem with the wheels. They've been getting hot. That is not supposed to happen. So that means the castle nut inside of the wheel bearing, for the wheel bearing I should say, is not tightened up properly. So I'm going to check these bearings, make sure they're fine. If they're fine, I'm just going to repack them with grease and tighten that castle nut up properly. So first step is to take the wheel off because it's easier, and check everything inside of here. I'm going to pull everything off, so I'm going to actually check the bearing in the back as well. I have got a set of bearing kit, like a full bearing kit, just in case, but I believe it's just because of that movement. That is not correct. That should not be doing that. So stay tuned. First, can the camera see this movement? Yeah, you can. That is not good at all. So that is part of the reason that, well, definitely the reason that we are having a problem with this. So to take the dust cap off, these screwdrivers are too good to use. I'm not using it. Use a screwdriver, a crap one, or use a chisel, or in this case,
make sure it's cold.
Use one of these little Jimmy bars. Jimmy bars to take the dust cap off. Dust cap is off. Yeah, let's have a look at this. Alright, so that is hella loose. So that is the issue we're having. But I'm still going to take it all off. Show you how to do that. First, have my energy drink. And it back. So, where's the cardboard? Yeah. Put it on cardboard. I'm not sure if this bearing is good. We're grinding. So to check if your bearing is good, spin it around on your finger. If there's no grinding, you can't feel or hear any grinding, or there's any score marks in the actual bearings themselves, if you can notice any score marks in the bearing themselves, your bearing is fine if none of those things happen. So my bearing is fine. That bearing is fine, so I don't need to change this bearing. What I do need to do is repack it all though. Ugh. Alright. Well, that's all old grease. So I'm going to clean off all the old grease to make sure that all the new grease, the good grease, because this isn't good, well, most of it's not good. The new grease, I've got proper marine grade grease as well, so that'd be better. So I'm going to clean off all the old grease, and I'm not going to show the camera, that's boring content, but make sure you clean off all the old grease, and then when you're putting everything back on, make sure you grease it all. I'll show that anyways, but yeah. So first step is to change the sleeve. So I'm actually keeping my sleeve because The sleeve that it come with is plastic. That's metal. Metal is better. Next step is to put some grease in the bearing. Where's my grease? There's my grease. So, put some grease in the bearing. And then slide the bearing backwards onto here.
Sit. No. Over here. Back.
And then next step
Good girl.
is to put the drum back on. But I'm gonna grease the inside as well. So grease the inside. Slide the drum back on. Make sure it sits up properly. Try not to get some leaves in there. Bloody grass.
Just leave it alone.
Alright, now that this is on, you chuck your smaller bearing. Once again, grease the smaller bearing. Put the bearing backwards facing into here. Slide it in. Shove a bit, you know what, actually, scratch that. Should probably put a bit of grease in there. I shove some grease on here. Shove some grease in here, into the holes. So grease is to stop the grinding, metal on metal, and to stop the heat, or to help reduce the heat. So now that that's all greased, chuck that on. Now where did I put the bearing? Alright, now that this is back on, put the washer back in there. So it slides in there. This little, not the washer, sorry, the bearing. This is the little washer thing that slides onto the back here. And you get your castle nut. It's called a castle because of the way it's shaped. And do that up on top of it. Actually, before you do that, chuck a bit of grease in behind it. So in the gap in here. So you won't hurt it chucking a little extra grease in. I really don't think you can over grease it.
You recording?
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds a bit better.
Bit better there, Governor.
I think it wasn't quite straight. Tighten that up. Tighten the castle nut up. But you can over tighten these. You definitely don't want to. So how to test it is do it up. Make sure you can still spin it and there's no problem with spinning it.
How's your leg?
So I'm going to try and over tighten it here just to show the camera. There's a bit of extra grinding if it's over tightened. So try and, I'm struggling with the wrong tool. So now you can't spin it properly. So back it off until, so that's too loose. There should be one in between, which there is, and then tighten it to that point. So you still got free movement, but there's no sideways movement and everything. And then all you have to do is just put this pin, right, now that there's a little bit of a gap, I should be able to get it still in there. Yep. All right, spin one side on one way and the other on the other way. Hold your castle nut on there. So see how it's still got some good movement, but no sideways movement. That's perfect. I'll put a little extra grease in here. Can never have enough grease. Shove a bit of extra grease into the holes. And then now you can put your wheel back on. So where's my wheel? Oh, sorry. Your dust cap first. Put your dust cap on first. Alright, chuck the dust cap on. So you get it roughly even. And just tap it back on, and then wipe the excess grease off of here. So, by all means, I am not a professional.
This is just your
but this is easy.
work.
Yeah, this is just bush mechanics. It's not. This is how you do it properly. But I've learnt doing stuff in the bush. I'm not a mechanic by any chance. My expertise is actually gardening, but I'm a bit of a jack of all trades, as these videos have shown you. But if you ever need to do all this stuff, hopefully this video helps. So it's not hard at all. Someone with half a brain should be able to do it. So if this helps, please like and share and comment, whatever, and subscribe as well would help. But otherwise, appreciate the view, and cheers.